Being human means facing negativity in life. The difference lies in how we respond to it. If we let negativity take over, it will lead us into suffering. Conversely, if we know how to control and adjust our emotions, life will become fulfilling and harmonious. Below are some techniques for dealing with negativity, helping us respond calmly and effectively. Reduce judgment and envy. Look deeply into your own nature. Judgment and envy are not merely fleeting feelings. They reveal dissatisfaction with ourselves. Instead of looking at others' lives and comparing, ask yourself what envy and judgment say about you. In reality, envy only reflects what we lack, and judgment is an excuse to mask personal failures we don't want to face. For instance, when seeing a colleague get promoted, a common reaction is to question or judge their ability. What does he have that I don't? Or, she's just lucky. But the truth is that everyone has their own path, and their success results from efforts we don't see. Envying and dismissing others' success brings no benefit and only traps us in negativity and disappointment. Instead, take a moment to ask, have I truly given my best? Or what can I learn from their success? To reduce judgment, focus on self-improvement. Every moment spent criticizing others is a lost opportunity to improve ourselves. For example, instead of criticizing a colleague's work methods, take the time to learn about effective approaches or enroll in skill development courses. As we build our own values and achievements, the urge to compare or envy others will gradually fade. Practice gratitude as an effective way to reduce envy. Each day, write down the good things you have, like health, family, or a stable job. Remember that success isn't only measured by what we achieve, but by the joy and peace we find within ourselves. When we appreciate our lives, envy for others' lives will dissolve, replaced by understanding, motivation, and respect for everyone's journey. Finally, remember that life is a continuous journey of learning. Rather than letting envy and judgment drag you down, turn them into motivation to keep striving and live a life of pride. Reflecting on the meaning of death, the journey to finding life's value. Death is an unavoidable reality that profoundly influences our perspective on life. Reflecting on death isn't about pessimism. It's about understanding the value of each moment we live. When we understand that life is finite, each day becomes precious and meaningful. This is the core idea of the philosophy Memento Mori. Remember that you will die and live fully. For example, think of those who have just experienced a major crisis, such as a severe illness or a serious accident. They often change their outlook on life after escaping the brink of death. A friend who recovered from cancer treatment, for instance, might share that his only regret was not spending enough time with family and missing small but meaningful moments. This realization drives him to live with clearer purpose, cherish family and friends, and overlook the trivial things that used to irritate him. Being close to death helps us see what truly matters and what is fleeting. Another example is participating in community activities or helping those in need. When witnessing others' struggles, especially those on the edge of life and death, we better understand the value of kindness and gratitude. The death of others, or even just the awareness of life's fragility, makes us pause, look at ourselves, and realize our fortune. Ultimately, death reminds us of our responsibility to leave behind meaningful values. Instead of focusing on wealth or fame, we can choose to leave a legacy through charitable acts, words of love, and moments with family. A grandfather who knows he has only a few months to live decides to share life experiences, valuable lessons, and spends time with his family. His passing leaves behind lessons of resilience and love, values that never fade. Reflecting on death isn't about fear. It's motivation to live authentically, to love, and to leave values that will endure beyond our departure from this world. Cherishing inner value. Have you ever wondered why you feel empty despite having everything from a house, a car, to a high-paying job? In modern life, we are easily drawn to material values and societal expectations. For example, you can clearly see this in people who work from dawn to dusk just to buy a luxury car or the latest smartphone. They think these things will bring them confidence and admiration from others. But this only pulls them further away from themselves, causing them to lose the sense of peace and real joy in life. Another example is people immersed in social media, constantly posting pictures of fancy meals and lavish trips to seek attention. However, when the screen goes dark, when the spotlight fades, they are left alone, facing emptiness. The likes and comments bring no real value to inner life, only temporarily soothing inner deficiencies. On the other hand, those who cherish inner values don't need to show off to anyone. They can find joy in the small, simple things in life: a peaceful morning, a warm cup of coffee, or a sincere conversation with loved ones. These are the moments they feel complete, truly alive, rather than trying to prove something to others. When you cherish inner value, you'll find there's no need to chase after meaningless standards or expectations. Life ceases to be a competition with others. Instead, it becomes a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. You will no longer feel lacking because what you have is enough to make you happy. Remember, happiness is not in external luxuries, but in inner tranquility. Live so that every day you feel content with yourself, so that when you face difficulties, you still feel strong and at peace. Don't let life become a series of days chasing superficial things. Life only truly holds value when you know how to cherish yourself from within. Living in harmony with natural laws. Living in harmony with natural laws does not mean accepting everything passively, but adjusting oneself to flow with the rhythm of all things. When we understand that everything operates according to a natural rhythm, from birth to decay, from joy to suffering, we become less resistant and find inner peace. We need to recognize that not everything is within our control, and clinging to the unchangeable only makes us more anxious and weary. Living according to nature means accepting that life is a mixture of bright times and challenging moments. In joyful days, savor them without worrying about tomorrow. When facing hardships, don't blame fate but see it as an opportunity to grow. From rivers, mountains, to plants and flowers, everything changes with the seasons over time. We too are like this. Life does not always flow smoothly, and that's what makes us mature, understanding, and insightful. Don't fear change or desire things to remain the same. Be like water, flowing naturally, but with strength. Sometimes it bends around rocks, but never stops. When we live in harmony with nature, we free ourselves from the constraints of unrealistic expectations. Like a leaf gently falling when its time comes, we must also learn to let go, allowing ourselves to be lighter and life to become easier. Finally, living in harmony with natural laws is about taking responsibility for the environment and the community around us. Respecting nature and preserving its balance is to protect ourselves and future generations. Understanding the power of perspective. Understanding the power of perspective means recognizing that we are not victims of circumstance, but the ones who control our emotions and perceptions. Every event in life, whether joyful or sorrowful, takes on meaning based on how we view it. A challenge can either be a stepping stone to progress or an obstacle if we choose a pessimistic outlook. When we realize the power of perspective, we escape feelings of helplessness and move into a state of mental strength and freedom. Imagine you are wearing a pair of glasses, each color representing a different view of the world. If your glasses are tinted with pessimism, everything around you will seem dark and gloomy. But when you switch to the lens of positivity, you'll see opportunities and hope, even in difficult situations. This is the power of perspective. The ability to adjust your attitude and turn every situation into an advantage. Our perspective not only affects us, but also spreads to those around us. A person with a positive outlook not only creates a fulfilling life for themselves, but also inspires and energizes others. Conversely, when we see everything through a negative lens, life becomes burdensome, which can make others feel weary as well. Thus, how we view problems can make our environment brighter or more negative. Understanding the power of perspective also helps us let go of unnecessary burdens. Sometimes, suffering doesn't come from the event itself, but from our insistence on seeing it a certain way. When we realize we have the power to change our perspective, all burdens become lighter. We find freedom in our minds, a freedom that isn't bound by circumstances, but built on our internal strength. Managing your own happiness. Managing your own happiness is an essential skill, enabling you to take charge of your life without relying on external factors. True happiness doesn't lie in how others treat us or in what we own. It's in how we build peace and joy from within. Happiness isn't something someone gives us or a gift we accidentally receive. It's a choice. It's a decision that no matter what happens, we will live with gratitude, calmness, and the strength to face life. Start by accepting that no one and nothing outside yourself can bring lasting happiness. When we depend on others or situations for joy, we put ourselves in a state of dependence. But if we choose to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and reactions, no external change can shake our inner peace. This requires self-discipline, but once achieved, we feel a profound sense of freedom. An important element in managing happiness is knowing how to let go of the unnecessary. Expectations of others to please us, endless material ambitions, or obsessions with the past only add burdens and rob us of the joy of the present. Let go of these and focus on what truly matters, nurturing the soul with lasting values like gratitude, tolerance, and love. Finally, always maintain a positive mindset. Not every day is perfect, and there will be times when we encounter difficulties and challenges. But how we face them will determine whether we can hold on to our happiness. When we see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, we no longer feel like victims of life, but as leaders of our own lives. Managing your own happiness is a long journey, requiring patience and discipline. But once achieved, you will find a deep peace, and nothing can take away the happiness you've built for yourself. Living by personal values to achieve happiness. Living by personal values to achieve happiness is a profound journey, requiring honesty with oneself and the courage to uphold principles amid external pressures. When we live by our personal values, the principles and beliefs we most cherish, we don't just build a meaningful life, but also find genuine joy. A joy that can't be shaken by circumstances or others' opinions. Personal values are the foundation for every decision in life. If we know what matters to us and live accordingly, each action and word becomes consistent and meaningful. For instance, if you value honesty, living truthfully with yourself and others will bring satisfaction and pride in yourself. Conversely, when we go against our values for short-term gain or external pressure, we feel dissatisfied, unfulfilled, and lose self-confidence. Achieving happiness through personal values also helps reduce unnecessary comparison and competition. When you know what you live for, you stop worrying about what others achieve or where they are. Happiness ceases to be a race and becomes a state of contentment and inner peace. You understand that success isn't measured solely by fame or wealth, but by the sense that you've lived true to yourself, without pretending or compromising to please others. Moreover, living by personal values helps us build sincere and meaningful relationships. When we are clear about our values, we attract people with similar views who respect and resonate with what we value. From there, relationships are built on harmony and respect, creating a sustainable foundation for life. Ultimately, achieving happiness through personal values is a journey of freedom, where you decide your path. When we are not bound by societal expectations or external pressures, we find a true happiness, a deep joy that comes from self-acceptance and inner peace. Enjoying every moment of the present. Enjoying every moment of the present is the art of living for those who understand that life is short and never repeats itself. It is the ability to stop chasing distant things or regretting the past, and instead focus on small but meaningful things right in front of us. When we know how to appreciate each moment, life becomes richer, each experience holds value, and brings a sense of peace. Living in the present moment doesn't require grand plans or significant achievements. It can be as simple as feeling the cool breeze on your skin, hearing birds chirping outside your window, or feeling the warmth of sunlight. Sometimes we are too preoccupied with big things and forget that happiness lies in the simple, familiar things. Things we could easily overlook if not careful. To fully enjoy each moment, we need to let go of worries about the future and stop obsessing over the past. Anxiety and regret only burden the mind, preventing us from recognizing the beauty and meaning of the present. When we learn to put those burdens aside, we realize that life is fundamentally simple, serene, and filled with wonders. Furthermore, enjoying the present helps us connect more deeply with those around us. When we are entirely present in the moment, we see the value in every conversation, every glance, and every smile. These moments create memories, moments we will look back on with gratitude. Life is a series of overlapping moments, and if we don't know how to cherish each one, happiness will slip by unnoticed. Enjoying the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or giving up the past. It's living in balance, realizing that this moment right now is all we truly have. When we live fully in the present, we not only find happiness, but also discover the true meaning of life. Renewing the mind to improve life. Renewing the mind to improve life is the key to unlocking potential, helping us overcome our own limits and move towards a more meaningful life. Changing our thinking isn't easy, but it's the foundation of all progress. When we dare to reevaluate and adjust our mindset, we begin to open up opportunities for new experiences, bigger goals, and the ability to grow ourselves fully. Old, limiting thinking often keeps us stuck in complacency or fear. If we always view life through a conservative lens, fearing change, we will miss out on many opportunities. Renewing the mind begins by recognizing false beliefs or habits that prevent us from moving forward. For instance, instead of seeing failure as an endpoint, view it as a necessary lesson for improvement and growth. When we abandon rigid thinking, every challenge can become an opportunity to learn. Renewing the mind also involves expanding our perspective and being open to differences. Life is diverse and rich, and if we confine ourselves to our own viewpoints, we won't see the whole picture. Try listening to others' opinions, explore new perspectives, and question your long-held beliefs. The ability to learn and adapt will make your life more diverse, flexible, and profound. Moreover, renewing the mind helps us better control our emotions, leading to wiser decisions and more effective results. Instead of reacting hastily, we learn to stay calm, assess situations from multiple angles before acting. This not only helps us avoid unnecessary mistakes, but also builds a stable and balanced life. Finally, renewing the mind is a lifelong journey. It's not something we achieve in a day, but a continuous process of learning, self-improvement, and self-fulfillment. When we have the courage to change our perspective, we realize that life is always open and ready to welcome those who embrace opportunity. Begin by challenging yourself, breaking free from outdated ways of thinking, and your life will become richer, and more meaningful each day. Taking responsibility for your emotions. Taking responsibility for your emotions is the first step toward creating a life of freedom and peace. When we accept that emotions are the result of our thoughts and reactions, not imposed by others or circumstances, we gain full control over our lives. Conversely, if we keep blaming others or external events, we will be trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction and dependency. Remember, every emotion, whether positive or negative, originates from how we perceive events. When we're angry, it's not just because someone did something wrong, but because we chose to react with anger. Realizing this gives us a clearer view of our emotions, enabling us to handle them wisely and calmly. No one can make us angry unless we allow that emotion to exist. Taking responsibility also helps us escape the role of a victim in life. When we know that we have the power to choose our responses, we no longer rely on others' actions to feel happy or peaceful. We can create joy and serenity from within, unaffected by external influences. This strengthens our resilience, preventing us from being swept away by fleeting emotions. To practice taking responsibility for emotions, we need to observe and understand ourselves. When an emotion arises, ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What in my thoughts has triggered this feeling? By being honest with ourselves, we'll gradually realize that many negative emotions can be resolved or reduced when we change our perspective. Taking responsibility for emotions doesn't mean suppressing or denying them, but rather recognizing that we have the power to control them. We can appreciate positive emotions and accept and manage negative ones healthily. This not only leads to a more peaceful life, but also fosters sincere, low-conflict relationships, as we no longer expect others to change just to make us happy. Living autonomously and independently. Living autonomously and independently is an important step towards achieving a truly free and meaningful life. When we know how to take control of our lives, we no longer wait for approval or security from others, but build everything ourselves. This doesn't mean completely isolating from society or not connecting with others, but rather developing a strong inner strength that doesn't rely on external factors for happiness and peace of mind. Living autonomously requires knowing your own values and setting personal standards to shape your life. When you know where you're going and what needs to be done, you won't be easily swayed by others' opinions or expectations. Instead of comparing yourself and forcing yourself to meet societal standards, focus on your own goals and path. Autonomy comes from understanding yourself, accepting both strengths and weaknesses, and knowing how to harness your potential without depending on others. Autonomy also means taking responsibility for all of your choices and actions. When you accept that every outcome, whether good or bad, stems from your own decisions, you no longer blame circumstances or others. This provides great strength because with the ability to make choices, you also have the power to change. Whenever you face difficulties, instead of waiting for someone else to help, you can find solutions yourself, fostering confidence and self-respect. Living independently also helps you build healthy, sustainable relationships. When you don't need others to make you happy, you can offer love and care genuinely, without expecting reciprocation or control. Relationships become deeper as they are built on empathy and respect, rather than dependence or mutual expectations. Ultimately, living autonomously is a long journey that requires patience and discipline. When you no longer need external approval to determine your worth, you will find true freedom. A life where joy, peace, and success all stem from your own inner strength. Seeking inner freedom. Seeking inner freedom is the journey of exploring and mastering the mind, helping us break free from the constraints of the external world and live a truly free and independent life. Freedom is not about being able to do everything you want, but rather the ability to control how you feel and think, regardless of external circumstances. When we are no longer swayed by the external, we achieve a state of mental peace, unaffected by the constant changes of life. Inner freedom begins with understanding and accepting oneself with all strengths and weaknesses. When you are no longer trapped in insecurity or bound by others' expectations, you realize that you have the full power to decide how to view and face life. True freedom doesn't come from controlling everyone around you or possessing everything, but from the ability to let go, unbound by negative emotions or limiting thoughts. Seeking inner freedom also means letting go of mental burdens. Fears, regrets, and judgments are self-imposed barriers. When we learn to confront and overcome these limitations, the mind becomes peaceful, no longer haunted by the past or fearful of the future. Inner freedom helps us focus on the present, living with complete joy and meaning in each moment. Finally, inner freedom is the ability to face all challenges without losing calmness or faith in oneself. When you don't allow circumstances or others to dictate your emotions, life becomes lighter. Even when facing hardships or adversity, you can maintain your belief and courage to move forward, because you understand that true freedom is something that cannot be taken away. Inner freedom is not a state achieved overnight, but a long journey requiring patience and discipline. When we learn to master the mind, release burdens, and trust the path we choose, we find a deep and lasting freedom, a freedom that no one or circumstance can disturb. Contentment with the present. Contentment with the present is the art of living that helps us find joy and peace in every moment, regardless of whether life is perfect or not. Instead of constantly yearning for things we don't have or dreaming of a better future, being content with the present means appreciating what we have and feeling enough with it. This doesn't mean giving up on dreams or goals, but knowing how to live each moment fully without tying happiness to things that haven't happened. Life is always changing, with both good times and challenges. If we only feel satisfied when we get everything we want, we will easily fall into a cycle of dissatisfaction and disappointment. When we know how to be content with the present, each day has its own value. Simple moments and small joys, a cup of tea, a heartfelt conversation, a peaceful evening, can all be sources of immense happiness if we know how to appreciate them. Contentment with the present also helps reduce comparison with others. In a competitive world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves with those around us, always feeling inadequate or not as good as others. But when we choose contentment, we no longer worry about others' achievements or success and focus on our own journey. This creates freedom and lightness in the heart, helping us love and accept ourselves more. To be content with the present, we need to practice gratitude. Gratitude is the way to recognize the value of small but meaningful things in life. Every day, take a moment to reflect on what you have: health, family, friends, achievements, big or small. This gratitude nurtures the soul, helping us see that even in difficult circumstances, there are reasons to feel fulfilled. Finally, contentment with the present is the way to face challenges without feeling overly stressed or lost. When we can accept and live in harmony with the present, we gain the strength to overcome any difficulty and continue on our path with a peaceful and happy heart. Thank you for watching this video. Let's support our wonderful community by hitting subscribe and turning on notifications right now. Show everyone that you're living kindly by liking the video and sharing your experiences in the comments. Take action now to spread positive energy.